record button because it is 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Welcome, everybody, to the Medicare Cafe. You are joined by your host, Miss Olivia Richardson.
And Mr. Michael Richardson. And today we're talking about... Wait, what?
People are going to think we're... No, this is Mike Torna.
Estranged siblings.
Estranged siblings. Mike
So, something happened, because we've always talked about that digital barrier when talking to your clients, how you don't want to have like your laptop open, they can't see what you're doing, and you're taking notes. Because they're like, are they playing a game? Are they on Facebook?
You were jumping ahead.
No. There's a point to this. Where something happened where I was sitting with my business coach, because I have a business coach, and she just mocks me all the time. But she was using one of those electronic tablets where you write, and it looked like a piece of paper, and she's writing, and it was all digital. And I'm like, whoa. What is this? And she's like, yeah, it's how I keep all my notes. Because she used to use like a pad. And she goes, but I had like 9 of them going at once. I got confused. I was losing notes. So I bought this thing. And lo and behold, I was like, this answers the issue of the digital barrier to keep your files electronic, but still look like you're taking notes with the client. And that's what we're talking about today.
Okay.
So that's my backfill.
So you were jumping ahead.
A little bit.
Because here's what's going on. For those of you who weren't with us last week, Medicare Cafe is now starting series. We'll do series for a few weeks at a time. This is a 3-part series. Last week we talked about ways to store and save expense reports, things like that, to help make sure you're getting the most out of your dollars, particularly if you're driving and doing mileage. This week we're going to be talking about technology and ways to take notes.
Yes.
On an applicant. So what Mike was talking about is exactly what we really advise agents not to do. First of all, I advise digital notes. Why do I advise for digital notes? It's because paper notes are difficult to store.
Yep.
They're difficult to organize. They are difficult to keep for a long time, and they can get damaged. Paper notes are great, but there's so much that can go wrong with paper notes. However, like Mike was mentioning, we advise against what we actually call that digital barrier.
Yep.
Mike mentioned what a digital barrier is like if you are sitting there and like, let's say it's me and Mike talking, you're my client, I am the agent, and I have a
I'm the old one? Age discrimination.
Obviously.
Good point.
So if I'm taking notes on my phone, you're talking to me and I'm just doing this on my phone the entire time, I look extremely...
And so then, in 1948, I had heart surgery. And what happened there was...
I look extremely inconsiderate. I look like I'm texting. I look like I'm not paying attention. Oh, I just posted this picture of my son. Sorry. Anyway, so then if I'm having a computer and I'm actually typing on a screen and I just have like a laptop or a computer, there's an actual screen.
And I'm trying to go over the screen like, what is she doing over there?
There's an actual screen barrier between myself and Mike. And then again, do they know? They're doing a lot of typing. What are they writing about me? What are they saying about me? Are they Facebooking? Are they sending an email? Are they even paying attention? So that's why we actually like to combine the two. Having to where you're actually writing notes down, but you're doing it in a digital format. So using something like an iPad, a Surface Pro, an Android product, but having a tablet or computer device that allows you to have the client see your screen. It completely eliminates that barrier between you. It eliminates that, what's the word I'm trying to say? It eliminates any mystery. Skepticism. It makes people know. It keeps them in the know. It's very transparent.
Yeah.
But you want to make sure. So how do you have notes that are digital, but you don't have that technological barrier? So there's some apps that we use that we've talked about that can help you do that.
Yeah, this is exactly what my business coach was using, the Remarkable 2. It's expensive. It's like $400.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, it's expensive. But she goes, it's great because it's like, and we're going to talk about iPads and tablets here in a second, but they're very glass surface, where this is more textile. So it's like writing on paper.
It actually makes the sound. It's more.
I don't know if it makes a sound.
I've written on one. It drags. Like it comes with a special pen. It comes with this, and it drags like it does on pen to paper. If you're somebody who doesn't like the stylus to like a glass surface, which I understand that is bothersome to some people. But this one actually has a drag, like pen to paper.
Yeah.
And it is more satisfying, and it's and you don't have to worry as much about like battery life and things like that.
Yeah, so and there's no distractions. The other thing they were saying about this device is because it doesn't have all the apps like your email, your text messages. When you're writing with a tablet, which again we're talking about here in a second, you get all those distractions.
Sure.
It's easy to
notifications pop up. While
click it and be like, okay, now I'm off to something else.
Yeah.
This is much more focused. And the great thing is if you're using this with clients and you're sitting there talking to them, even if it's on the phone, you're talking to them, rather than having to take your notes that you took on paper and transcribe them to your CRM, you save this as a PDF, attach it to their client notes, and you're done.
Oh, for sure. That's, again, this is not something that like replaces a CRM. This is a place for you to take notes that you want to put in your CRM. Again, getting ready, because you don't necessarily want your client to see you put notes in the CRM, because you might be putting some things in there that may not be super flattering to your client. So I don't recommend putting, like when you're making notes in an appointment, putting notes directly into the CRM. Take a notes like this. Do it digitally, do like this, and then of course this is if you're face to face. If you're not face to face, it's a little different.
Well, the other thing you have to pay attention to if you're on the phone, can you hear your key clacking?
Oh, that's a really good
because if you're saying, "Oh, I'm going to type notes as go along," there's still that mystery. Are they really typing notes? Are they sending messages to their friends? So, because Joanne was on a call a while ago, and she said she heard them clacking on their keyboard, and it was very distracting to her.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
So this takes away that as well.
So here's how Remarkable works. It comes in like a notebook format with special types of paper and a special type of pen. You write on it. Feels just like you're writing with paper and pen. Works really well. How it works is that these are all like QR coded and stuff. So you can actually no, these are the ones that upload directly as a PDF. And then are also able to be searchable. So it can turn your words into searchable ways and searchable places. So it is an electronic device. It doesn't do anything else. It's not like an iPad. You can't read books off of it. This is how it works. But it is a really great strategy. On the cheaper side, it's obviously cheaper than like an iPad or cheaper than a lot of other tablets.
It is, but it's also single use. That's the hard part.
It is.
And
single use.
My business manager said she liked it a lot. Her name's Amanda. So Amanda was telling me she likes it a lot because she goes, all my clients have their own folders within there, so she can click on my folder and see the past notes from past couple of weeks and say, okay, last week we talked about, let me pull up the notes, and she could say, there are the notes right there, rather than flip through a notebook or I brought the wrong notebook or anything else. It really helped her, and she was a big proponent of this. And then I saw the price. Like I said, it was like, I think it was like $400, but then you had to buy the pen and the portfolio, and it ended up being like a $700 investment.
But you're never buying another notebook again or a legal pad.
That's the other thing is exactly. So that's one option. This is the more expensive option for a single-use product. Of course, next we have what Livy uses is a Notability app, and I use that.
I don't have my iPad with me, but this is something you can do on iPad and Android devices. I do really like the Notability app because you can have it on multiple devices. So you can have it on, like I keep mine on my iPad. If I'll just let you guys know what I use it for. If I'm in meetings, if I'm in somewhere, I'm trying to be creative, coming up with a new training, I make my notes in Notability because there's just something about writing out ideas versus typing them out that kind of help with the creative process. It's also, again, less distracting if I am in meetings versus like being somewhere where I'm checking email and on my computer and whatnot. So I use Notability, love it. It works really well. Tons of improvements on it. Notability also has a capability of having digital planners. If you're somebody who likes to actually have, like, you have your calendar on your phone, I also really like that they have a digital planner, so you can do a lot of like daily planning on that. They also, again, because it is an Apple or Android product.
There's only Apple.
They don't have Notability for Android?
Nope.
Well, there you go. Because if you do have an Apple, I do like it how if I don't have my iPad, I can still go to my Notability app on my phone and access my Notability notes on my phone, even if I don't have my iPad or my Mac with me. So again, I really like it. It allows me to be creative. It allows me to have more fun with it. And it's just a great way again to store notes. I do recommend if you are going to use this, make sure that you're using. I use an Apple Pencil. I would recommend a pencil product. Doesn't have to be Apple Pencil, but using something more than just like your standard stylus.
Yeah, and that's, again, I know like Livy also uses it when she's looking at webinars. She's taking the PowerPoint and she's writing notes all over it. So tons of versatility. If you don't want to invest into the Remarkable 2 note-taking system, this is an option. There's also Rocket notebooks, which I don't know a lot about. I don't know anyone who uses them, that's why we're not talking about it.
So actually, again, I actually have used a Rocket notebook
Have
in
you?
the past. Yeah, it's the paper version of what you talked about earlier.
Okay.
It is more paper-like. It does have pages. It is one that you take a picture of. It has a QR code, and it uploads a picture into a database. To do that, it works. It does make the notes searchable. They're like $50. Rocket books are. They're super, super affordable. Not my favorite, and they don't last super long because you have to actually microwave them.
It's weird, yeah.
You microwave them to erase the notebook, so there's a little more wear and tear on them, so you'll have to buy one probably once a year. Plus, when you write them, it makes the impression on them. So they do work. They're fine. But
these are $30, $40. They're nice hardcover notebooks. And then you get grease stains on them from eating donuts. Donuts. Yeah.
So I'm not the biggest fan of Rocket books.
I'm not either.
They can work, but
it's an option.
It's an option.
Now, what I've done in the past is actually good old pen and paper. Obviously, what I'm doing, but what you can do with a Evernote app, which is a note-taking app, which works for Android and iOS, is you can take a picture of your notes, and you can take that picture and it'll save as a PDF within the app, and then you can attach that to your CRM notes to your clients. So if you're like, man, I don't want to invest in a Rocket notebook or a Remarkable 2 because they're expensive, I'm not going to use it, and I don't like writing on an iPad because I tried it. I don't like the glass surface.
It does take getting used to, for sure.
So I stick with my paper, but if it's a really important note, I'll take a picture of it, and then I know it in my Evernote app, and I know it will save it as a PDF. I can export it to my email, to the hard drive, and then I can attach it to my CRM so I don't have to take my notes and retype them in the computer. So this is the path of least resistance and still using good old pen and paper.
But again, this doesn't replace having a digital CRM.
No.
So making sure if you do have a CRM, make it with the app. A lot of times you can upload these notes directly into your CRM apps, things like that. Or if you want to retype them later, depending on how much time you want to invest in it. What we're trying to do here is genuinely allow you to become more organized, diminish or completely get rid of that technological barrier, and still be able to take notes. Reminder that your notes aren't just things that are like they're 70 years old, they're on this list of medications. Notes in your CRM should include some personal things to help you build and maintain that relationship.
Dog named Rocky.
Where do they vacation? What's their dog's name? What are their hobbies? Things like that. So when you call them up later, you can say, oh, hey, by the way, you mentioned that you were going to go to Florida. Did you make it on that trip? How did that go? How's Rocky doing? So again, taking these notes via a pen and paper method, just not via pen and paper, very, very important. Keep it in your CRM. Want to make sure you stay very productive and not busy. So these apps are ways to help you do just that.
Yeah, and it's because let's face it, in AP especially, whether you're on the phone or in person, after you talk to the 10th, 11th, 12th person, it's hard to remember a conversation you had 2 weeks ago because that's probably 200 conversations ago between calling senior marketing specialists for help, calling carriers to check on things, talking to clients, talking to family. I mean, just having conversations.
Having conversations with you is exhausting.
It is. I am a liability. So yes, I understand that. But you need to take notes, and I used to have to, and it was a nightmare to go home at night and take all the notes I had and retype them into my CRM and then try and figure out, okay, what did I say there? What was that? Why did I write that? It's eons ago. To have it digital, upload it, done, this is vital. So yes, it's hard to keep up with conversation. Exactly, Bernadette. It is hard to keep up with conversation, especially when you talk to 90 women that all play bridge, all crochet, all belong to Red Hat Society.
We're not asking about your dating life.
Well, you know what? Hey, I am going to reverse Anna Nicole Smith it.
There you
so
go.
I'm going after a nice widowed woman who has money that she doesn't know what to do with, and I'm there to advise her.
What a giver.
You know what?
A gift.
I am a gift. Thank you. I come with a receipt too. So we're good there. And don't forget, one last trick, whether you're on the phone or you're in person, I know on iPhones, you could, when you pull up your contacts, you come up first on the very top. Make sure you're sharing that with your prospects and clients, saying, hey, let me get you my all my information. What's your cell phone number? I'll text you over my contact. So I think that's the easiest way to get in your client's phone. So I realized that when I was in my Pahoney here, because I think if you're going to put letters in there, I'm going to say them. So your Pahony, not your phone.
Okay, I was completely
I know.
lost.
You look more confused than normal.
I was like, well, like, I'm going to go to my Pahony. Like, where is that? Anyways, there's also some really cool apps that you can have that you have digital like business cards to where you get a QR code on there. And so again, they say close to 70% of people over the age of 65 have smartphones.
Yes.
So what you do is you get a QR code on there. They take a picture with their phone of that QR code and it automatically uploads your information into their phone book and things like that, complete with your picture. So you can have your logo on there. So digital business cards on these little devices are oh, look at that. And Bernadette just says, do we recommend digital business cards?
Yeah,
I do. It's actually really easy. Easy to set up. They don't cost very much money. It doesn't replace regular business cards, but it is nice if you're in the appointment, just like, hey, scan this. That way that if I call you with an update about your application or an update about Medicare, you know that to answer it, you know that that's me calling. So a digital business card is an excellent addition to your retention practices with your client.
Yeah, one nice thing is if you do the text, you get their phone number then. So you get their cell phone number.
Absolutely.
So, hey, let me text you my information, or here's any way you want to do it. Just make sure you're getting in your client's phone. So when you call, it's not a mystery number and they're letting it go to voicemail because they don't know who it is. Mm-hmm. And then if you check their voicemail, and then you're just gone in that black hole of ignoring. Yeah.
Yeah. And also if you do like a business card, sorry, I'm just saying if you wanted to as well, an after appointment as like a folder, like a lot of people say after appointments, I give them a folder with their coverages, a folder with additional options that I offer, a folder with
QR
information
code
about me. Do a QR code in that with a link to your digital business card as well. And that way you can say, scan this to make sure that I get in your phone so you know that it's me calling.
It's interesting that COVID brought back the QR code because any restaurant you go to now, you have to take a picture of the drink menu, the regular menu, this and that. Yeah, so it's...
COVID resurrected a QR code.
Yes, because it was basically non-existent, and now it's a huge thing. AirDrop, so just AirDrop is when you have two iPhones or two Apple devices, you could send it via just automatically to another Apple device.
Yeah, what it does is that you just push, basically you have to, it's kind of like Bluetooth. So you know, like whenever before you wanted to text pictures, you had a Bluetooth pictures or Bluetooth songs to each other. You would just, it's basically Bluetooth, but just between Apple devices. So if your client uses an Android, then an AirDrop will not work.
Exactly. So yeah, but again, the point here is you don't want your phone number to come up as a mystery in their caller ID.
Right.
Or when you text them, like, who the heck is this?
Yeah, for sure. You want them, and then it also, again, encourages to say, like, if you get a phone, if you get a ring and it's not from my office, don't answer it or let me know. It helps protect against those call centers and spam and fraud. So, really cool stuff. So, that is the Medicare Cafe. Now, before everybody starts logging off here, because you got all the goodies that you wanted, Mike, why don't you tell them some really cool thing we're getting ready to do on our social media?
So, as we approach 1,000 subscribed people to our Medicare Cafe broadcast, some years ago, Olivia rudely put a pie in my face.
I did, and it wasn't because I wanted to. It's because it was what the people wanted, Mike.
I don't trust the people,
well,
especially
good.
Now. However, we're going to give that another trial. We're going to do a, what are we calling it?
A piring squad.
Yes.
So here's some
not one pie, 10 pies.
10 pies in the face. So this is what we're going to do, guys, in order to celebrate us hitting 10,000 subscribers, which we're so excited about. And again, thank you, everybody, for your support and willing to keep Mike and I employed.
Yeah.
Honestly. So
we appreciate that.
So we have like 20 subscriptions left before we hit 1,000. So what we're doing is we're going to put a poll on our Facebook page. Okay. So our poll on our Facebook page is going to be, who do you want to see be got by our piring squad? So either myself or Mike will be at the wrong end of 10 pies being thrown at us, but it's your guys' decision. Whoever you want to see get pied over and over and over again, make sure you vote for that. So that is going to be on our Facebook page this afternoon, whenever Mike gets around to putting it up. Make sure you cast your vote. I think you can vote multiple times as well, but make sure you cast your vote as far as who is going to get hit by our piring squad. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, by the time that hits, we shut the polls down. Whoever is in the lead will be pied.
Yes.
And pied. And
real quick, someone asked, Bernadette asked about using text confirmation for appointments. So I was raised in the insurance world under the impression you never, ever, ever do any type of confirmation on appointments because it gives them an out to say no. That's how I was brought up through the ranks of insurance. I know a lot of people have different opinions, but I just showed up. If 10 o'clock on Tuesday, I show up 10 o'clock Tuesday. I don't text confirmation doing that.
It's different, like, to do, like, you're going to them, but to get them to come to you, I do strongly recommend. So, like, again, if you're doing that, if you're going to their home, I can agree of, like, don't give them the out. If you said 10 a.m. at Tuesday at 10 a.m., I would do a reminder probably the day before of I'm going to be there maybe. But if you are somebody who you are expecting you have an office, or you are somebody who, again, is non-face-to-face, I do really like text reminders. My dentist does them, my doctors do them, my pediatrician does them. It's kind of as an industry standard at this point, and doing it via text. You're too old to go to pediatrician. Oh, my kid's pediatrician.
Oh, okay.
My kid's pediatrician. Oh, okay. So they are something that I do really rely on, are those text reminders, because sometimes I don't remember.
I just thought you were holding on to your youth.
I am holding on. I turned 30 this month. Yep. So yes, I still try to get my pediatrician to see me. So there are, again, it depends on where you do your appointment, like Calendarly will do them, Setmore will do them. There are, it's a lot of ways of, if you want them done automatically, it depends on if you have appointment setting technology. If you're doing your own appointment setting, then you'll probably have to do a manual text. But if you have using some sort of software to set your appointments, most software will include a text reminder option for sure.
Yes, Brian, always check your water before making coffee. He says he's been busy he's brewed coffee twice without water. It's hard to do that.
That says more about you. That says more about you than it is about A.
Yeah, I just eat my coffee beans straight now. So much easier. Terry asks, who do you recommend for doing events? I mean, for a nominal fee, I'll do events.
So Terry, let me know what you mean. If you're asking, like, if you're wanting to register an event, what carrier do we recommend registering that through? Terry, need a little bit more clarification on what you mean, Terry, on who we recommend, because we have a ton of information, like how to do events. If you're interested on, like, how to do events, how to make the most out of them, pros and cons. We do have a ton of training on our university. Go to smsteam.net, click on training, and there's a lot of seminars and event training on there, but I need more clarification.
Yeah, Donna asked, can we view previous webinars? Yes, on YouTube.
On our YouTube page. Yep. Go to youtube.com and type in Senior Marketing Specialist. We do have a ton of recorded webinars there, both from SMS University as well as Medicare Cafe. It has all of our previous recordings on there.
Yes. Libby would qualify for DSNP. Thank you for pointing that out.
Cool. Brian says he's driving to Columbia to assist with me getting pied. I'm just saying, back when we did the pie contest like 5 years ago, Mike was the one. I'll post a video.
Oh, would you please?
Of Mike being pied in the face a few years back. That was a really fun time. So, but yeah.
So negative feelings to all you people.
Yeah. So we'll do that again. Again, we'll get that up there. But when we hit 1,000 subscribers, the polls will shut down and Mike will get firing squad.
So Dean says something there. I don't see what it is. You have to scroll down 1 second, Dean.
Sorry. Dean says, how many clients live, many of my clients live a 45-minute drive and an hour away, so I always call. For sure, Dean, that's something as well. If you are traveling to them and they are that far away, obviously you'll want to do a reminder for them. I am for the reminder text. You make a really good point of, like, don't give somebody the out. Like, I think, like, when you cold call somebody, never ask.
Or someone else does. Like, you bought a lead or a preset appointment.
Never ask, like, hey, is this a bad time? Because they're going to say yes. Don't give them the out. So I understand the thought process behind that, but I think the industry has evolved into where, like, doctors' offices do it. Everybody does this. I am all for the text.
Yeah, I like the text. Again, it all depends on what you're comfortable doing. And if you try doing it and everyone cancels, you know not to do it anymore. So just make sure you do that.
So Terry mentioned, like, Eventbrite. So what Eventbrite? So again, my familiarity with that, are you wanting to do a virtual event or are you wanting to do an in-person event? If you're wanting to figure out like how do I have somebody help me host an event, you can use an Eventbrite. Eventbrite isn't the easiest one to work with. And are you selling tickets? If you're selling tickets, Eventbrite is fine. But if you're not selling tickets to your event, don't use an Eventbrite or anything like that. Also, keep in mind if you're doing like a Medicare event, then it's actually like illegal to sell tickets to that. So don't do that. If it's an event that you could potentially be getting commissioned on, like writing policies off of, don't do paid events if you're planning on getting commissions for writing products there.
Right. You just use a simple Google form.
I would do Google form. I would actually do a Facebook event. I would have a Facebook page and a Facebook event to help me advertise it and to help me, get RSVPs. Yeah. That's actually the route that I would go.
I like that.
Everbright.
Yeah, Arnie says not everyone uses text. Yeah, but that's becoming more the norm of everyone aging into Medicare. A lot of them have the ability to have text messages. I think every cell phone in the past 15 years can use text messages.
My grandma is 87 and she texts.
So yeah, I mean, you could text, you could email confirmation reminders. Also, it depends on the person because I can tell you, my mom never checks her email, but she texts all the time.
Well, and again, it's if you have a client base of 50 to 100 clients, it might make sense to be able to call everybody the day before their appointments or the week before the appointments. Or if you have administrative staff, if that could be a great job, is to do a courtesy phone call. Beautiful. I love courtesy phone calls if you have the time and if you have the staff for it. For automation purposes, automated text tend to just be low cost, and you get a great return from that.
Exactly. Yeah. So again, what works for you? What I going back to the CRM, what does your CRM do? Because a lot of CRMs have automated processes that you could set up to where you click a button, everything's done for you. I know Agency Block does that, where you could design where certain emails go out at certain parameters, like every 30 days out, this email go out. And then another 60 days out, this email goes out. So the more you can automate the process, the more you can do. It is just a matter of what technology have you tied into and what are the capabilities of said technology.
For sure. Great questions.
Yes, thank you so much. And Brian, if you need a sweatshirt, let us know. Logboat.
Yeah, Logboat's a good sweatshirt.
Logboat is a local brewery here in Columbia, Missouri.
Columbia has a lot of local breweries. We have the Broadway Brewery, we have Logboat, we have Burr Oak, and we have Flat Branch. We have 4 breweries within like 2 miles.
I keep forgetting about Broadway and such because they don't really sell do they sell it in the Hy-Vees and such? Oh, I don't drink beer, so.
So anyways, before we jump off here again, guys, make sure you join us on Facebook. Just Pride Water. I would like to do a quick poll, if you guys would humor me. Let me know who you're voting for. The vote for is who do you want to see get pied in the face? Just come and do a little preliminary.
Well, Olivia's saying, can you write Olivia in the question area? No. Just go ahead and write Olivia and send it on.
No. We'd like to just kind of get a preliminary to see how much smack talk.
Who's Brian voting for?
Oh, I can't imagine how much smack talk we can do before.
I'm bringing back my ad.
So let me know really quick in the comments who you're going to be voting for the pie in the face.
Thank you, Paul.
Paul? What? This is not looking great for me.
No.
But who do you want to see get hiring squad? Appreciate you guys so much. But any other questions about technology, note-taking skills, texting, things like that? This is not boding well for me.
Hit stop recording. This is going way too long.